Agency today at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations at Calla Hills or the Jasmine Square Plaza.
Subject to terms, condition, and availability. Savings vary.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. John Fuller is in the studio from the law firm of Fuller and Fuller here in Ocala. The other Fuller is John's beautiful wife, Janet, and the show is called Legally Yours. The phone lines are open if you want to call in with a question to John. The number is 622-9622, and of course the questions we're asking for are legal type questions, and maybe if in an accident and you're facing lawyers and insurance companies and you're beside yourself to know what to do, that's a great opportunity, or maybe something more serious than that if that's even possible. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. Good morning to our listeners. Before we get into talking about any questions we may have, and we encourage folks to call in on this show all the time, I think it would be appropriate that we express both personally, collectively, from our law firm, from just how sad and shocked we are at the tragedy that occurred in Paris last Friday. And we send our best wishes to those in France who have been injured, who have lost loved ones. It is horrific beyond words, and you cannot live in this world and not be appalled and just shocked by that type of violence, regardless of your politics, regardless of whatever. John Kennedy said we all have couple of things in common. We all jointly occupy this planet, and we are all mortal. And to see that kind of senseless violence perpetrated upon any nation is horrific. I also think it important to say, and this is some degree my opinion, I don't mean to inflict it on anyone else, but our country is a great country that has demonstrated and manifested tolerance for all of our citizens, regardless of their race, creed, color, ethnicity, religious preference, or what have you. And I think it's important to bear in mind that when we were in the throes of World War II and the atrocities that were perpetrated upon the Jewish people and upon humanity in general by the Nazis in Germany, that not all Germans were Nazis.
Right.
And we need to keep in mind that we need to be tolerant, because you cannot take the acts of radical extremist, violent factions of any group and condemn an entire group of people. So we as a society, I think, need to keep that in mind, because that's part of our greatness. Also, though, I think that our own safety, and again, opinion, is paramount, and I think that during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Kennedy also said that any strike that was launched against the Western Hemisphere or its allies anywhere from Cuba would be considered a strike by the Soviet Union, necessitating a full military retaliatory strike. And I believe that for the safety of this country, those types of options need to be carefully explored. I certainly don't profess to have the answers, but it's pretty simple that the best defense is a good offense. And so to those folks who are making decisions for our country, I hope for wisdom, but I also hope that steps will be taken to secure the safety of ourselves, our allies, and the members of this planet that we all inhabit to take necessary steps to prevent that kind of violence. I'm sorry if I've encroached, but
No,
you can't express you can't live in society without doing it. And that's just we talk about our system of justice,
Right.
and how precious it is, and how fragile it is to protect. And so I just wanted to mention that protecting our way of life is as much of a duty of citizenship as voting, that sort of thing.
Right. Well, one of the things that I think we've learned from you in the years you've done this show is that the service you provide to us is to make us whole as much as possible after we've been either wronged or accidentally wronged. Sometimes intentional, sometimes accidental. But your role in our lives is to make us whole again, and usually by compensation of some sort.
Yes, and thank you for that observation, because that has been a theme that has run throughout this show for the 4 years that we've been honored and privileged to do the show and to speak to our audience, and for me to come and share discussions and questions and issues with you, Larry, is that our system of justice, while it is certainly not perfect and has its flaws, it is so much better than any other system in the world for protecting individual freedoms and liberties, and for allowing a forum to make someone who's been injured by either the intentional or negligent acts of another whole. So we have a call, so that's great.
Yes, sir. Good morning. You're on the air with John.
I'm sorry, I had a wrong number.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. It's still nice of you to call, and you were just on the radio. That's probably a famous wrong number right there.
So when we are intentionally hurt by somebody like a terrorist, there is no way to make us whole again. There's nobody to bring to court.
Well, obviously, they are. It is a hugely complex problem. But it is a problem that, in my judgment, again, and it needs to be aggressively, dramatically combated. I have not seen anything else that's been offered that, in my unskilled judgment. I'm not a historian. I'm not a military strategist. I'm not a political scientist. None of those things. I'm a concerned citizen who lives in this community. Janet and I were talking last night, and between the two of us, we have a combined 79 years of practicing law in this community. And it's a privilege and an honor to serve and protect our clients who honor us by trusting us to represent them when have serious injuries from accidents and their whole lives are turned upside down, when they have major crises in a business dispute that threatens their financial security, or when they are at their in a lot of cases are their last remedy to get some help, and they've been denied Social Security disability claims, and they can't work. And Janet does that. In fact, she's at a hearing this morning because we were going to both try to come today, but she's representing someone who's unable to work, whose Social Security disability claim has been denied, and she's arguing their case before an administrative law judge as I sit here and chat with you and chat with our listeners who have been gracious to call. And I think we're probably getting pretty close to break time if my internal clock tells me correctly. How are we doing?
And probably my distracted look, looking back at the clock over here. Yes, we're at that point right now. So we'll take that little break and be right back with John Fuller. Remember, the phone lines are open if you'd like to call John. The number is 622-9622. And before we wrap it up, we'll make sure that we give John's phone number to his office and maybe once again define specifically what kinds of cases he and his wife handle. We'll take a little break. Be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, clouds, some sun, and warm with a shower in spots and a high of 83 to 87. Mostly cloudy, warm and humid tonight, though 71 to 75. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy, warm and humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm by afternoon, the high 81 to 85. For Friday, partly sunny, still a chance of a shower, high 79 to 83. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
Ooh, ouch. Does pain have you glued to the couch? Yes, unfortunately it's true that every year we must get older, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with pain in our back, knees, or shoulder. If your muscles and joints are sore, don't worry anymore. Come get acupuncture from me and you'll be pain-free. Acupuncture starts as low as $35 at a Better You Healthcare. Call me, Dr. Erica Olstein, at 615-5566. Stop your pain from driving you insane.
One of the most common questions those nearing retirement are asking: will I outlive my money? Retirement questions like these and many more will be answered every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement with hosts Francois and Julian Cozenet. Francois and Julian will help you put your retirement puzzle together. Catch Planning for a Better and Safer Retirement Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Ocala's News Talk, The Source 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
Hi, this is Brad. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a pilot's license. This will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484.
All right, 12 minutes before 11.
He's refreshing.
Yes. John Fuller is here, and the phone lines are open. And it's a live show today, by the way. It's November 18th, 2015. So if that's the date on your calendar, then you're listening to a live show. I should have mentioned that at the opening.
It's okay. Well, as we start our last half of this show, I want to share with what I've talked with you and the Martone family about, and it show's a little bittersweet today because it is going to be the last installment for a while of Legally Yours. We're taking a little break. I want folks who are listening to know how very much we appreciate the loyalty of the people who listen, the thoughtfulness of the people who take time to call in with great questions and issues. I want to express my personal appreciation and Janet's personal appreciation to the Martone family for running the absolute best radio station, in my opinion, in this area. It is a wonderful place. Everybody is professional, treats us wonderfully kind and with professional excellence. Certainly, we cannot thank you and Robin enough. I walked in here 4 years ago, didn't know where to sit, how to talk, where to look, how to put the headphones on, and you've been very patient in at least hoping to make me a little better able to communicate with our listeners. So we are appreciative. We have done this show for 4 continuous years.
Wow.
and we feel honored and blessed to have had the opportunity to do that. We are continuing to vigorously practice law in the community. The law firm is Fuller and Fuller. Our telephone number is 352-547-4292. Our toll-free number is 855-534-2565. You can find out all about our law firm on our website, ocala-lawyer.com. Our practice focus is I'm a board certified lawyer in both civil litigation for over 30 years and in business and commercial litigation. And so I represent people who've been seriously hurt in accidents or have civil disputes, whether it's over property, probate, or what have you, and a business litigation involving businesses, partnerships, limited partnerships, and those things. So if you have a problem in any of those areas, we are continuing to full speed. We are blessed with good health, good staff, and a wonderful group of clients who we are honored to represent. Janet, of course, who had 7 years experience as a registered nurse at Shands Teaching Hospital in Gainesville before she went to law school. She focuses her practice on Social Security disability, and that is a specialized area. And if any of our listeners or their friends, family, or loved ones have been denied Social Security disability claims, Janet does that, and she'd be more than happy to talk with you. We also do some very complex, major family law cases on a select basis. So if you are in a complicated family law situation where you have a family business, or you're a professional with a medical practice or a accounting practice or engineering practice, those are the things that we handle and focus on. And I specialize in civil and business litigation, and that covers a wide range. We're also very happy for people to call us if it is not something that we do. We are always happy to assist in trying to refer people to lawyers who do practice in the area where they might need some help. So I can't say enough about how lucky we feel, and we're just taking a little break. Hopefully we will be back and continue doing something with you folks here at WOCA, The Source, because it has been nothing but a labor of love and a joy. And again, Larry, you multitask better than any man I know. You're calm, you're thoughtful, you're well-read, and you sit there and you push millions of buttons and watch the clock, answer the phones, and ladies and gentlemen, Larry and Robin are probably the most talented radio people in this area for sure.
Well, that was nice. And you have a phone call.
Great.
Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with John.
Yes, thank you. I'm very sorry to hear that you're going to be taking a break. For me, I called several times, and not only for myself, but for my family and for friends and neighbors and everybody else that was a little bit too shy to really call in. And I can't tell you how many times you have come across with answers that were so helpful to everybody. And for me, it was a must-listen to show on Wednesdays, one of the better of many good shows on this radio station. So I'm just hoping that your break from this radio will be for just a short time, and we look forward again for you coming back.
Thank you so much. I recognize your voice. I appreciate your loyalty and calling. You've always been a wonderful, wonderful questions, and I've enjoyed chatting with you over the years. Please be reminded that Janet Fuller and I and Fuller & Fuller Law Firm are not going anywhere. We are practicing law full speed. We are there to serve you and your family or any of your friends or anyone listening to this show, we will continue doing the same work that we have been doing, like I said earlier, for a combined 79 years. But it means a lot for you to take the time to say that, because this has been a labor of love, and the success that this show has had has been dependent much more so on our listeners and our callers than anything that I may have done. It's just been my privilege and honor to share what I know with folks who have general questions. And like I tell my clients and prospective clients, when someone calls with a question that I am not sure about, I am real good at knowing what I don't know, and I'm the first one to tell you that.
Right.
But that was very kind of you, sir, and it meant a lot to me for you to call in and say that. Thank you again, and God bless you.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I have your phone number, and if I ever need a lawyer, you're going to be hearing from me, and I highly recommend you to everybody that I know.
That's very kind. We appreciate that. Most of our clients come from references from former clients and from other lawyers here locally, and I take that as a real honor, and we treat it with great care and appreciate that consideration. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a great holiday. Goodbye.
Thank you. You too.
The sentiments you expressed about us, by the way, are mutual.
Thank you.
I mean, there have been a couple of times in the past 4 years. I guess the most recent one is when I hit the cow, and I didn't know what to do, and I even called you at your office, and you gave me some direction on what to do with that one. So
yeah. Well, we're happy to do that, and again, we're practicing law at our same office, at those same locations, just like we have been, and I've practiced law continuously since 1973 in Marion County.
Let's squeeze in another call. Good morning. You're on the air with John Fuller.
Yes, how you doing today, Mr. John?
Hey there. How are you doing?
All right. I just need to get your phone number, your website, sir.
Okay, our office phone number is 352-547-4292. The toll-free number is 855-534-2565. Our website is ocala-lawyer.com.
Okay. All righty. Thank you, sir.
Good.
And if I may say, if you any of you need the number repeated, we'll be glad to do that over the phone, or plus you can go to any of these videos. They all have the same information, usually toward the end of the video. So
thank you very much, Larry, and thank you again for the privilege of sharing this 30 minutes every Wednesday with you and our listeners for the last 4 years. It's been a labor of love, and it's enriched and bettered me and Janet and our law practice to be in this forum. And we're moving on, continuing as we always have with our practice, and we certainly look forward to sharing some type of dialogue on your radio station in the future. This is just maybe a sabbatical would be a nice term.
Well, I'm going to miss seeing you, John. For the listeners, if you ever get a chance to sit with John, ask him some questions that are not legal in nature, because he's a wealth of Marion County information.
Well, I was born and raised here. My family came here in the early 1900s. Marion County is a wonderful place. Sure, we have problems, but it's a great place to live and raise a family. And I'm very grateful for the people who we've served.
You're right. It's bittersweet. Thank you, John. Thank you for
God
being
bless
here.
all.
Right
oh, man.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, clouds, some